Welcome to Cine, here where you come for all of your media needs. My name is Ray.
It's your boy Nikki Tay.
And today we are reviewing Ad Astra.
Oh. Directed by James Gray, starring Brad Pitt and Tommy Lee Jones. Ad Astra is a film that focuses on an astronaut, Brad Pitt, in search of his father, who is also an astronaut that is in space somewhere. So let me be clear, this film I was excited for. I'm a Brad Pitt fan. I think he always does serviceable, if not really good, in all his films. Tommy Lee Jones I love. And, you know, astronaut space, you know, these movies typically are good. You know, movies such as Interstellar and Gravity and The Martian have rocked the box office here recently. So Ad Astra looks like an easy win watching the trailer.
I would agree. And
I'm not done.
Oh, what?
Boy, was I wrong. Oh my God. Ad Astra. Add excitement. Add dialogue, add whatever you want, but add more to this film. Please, because what you gave me was not enough. It was not enough. So Ad Astra begins with Brad Pitt.
Don't adjust your volume. What just happened is what you got in this movie. And James Gray, it's his fault, right? Because he chose to make this movie where you barely heard people speak. And the few times you did, which was Brad Pitt most of the time, Brad Pitt did great. Like, I love Brad Pitt. He's in my top 5 actors of all time. And in this movie, he did a good job. Or maybe he didn't, because I didn't get to hear the dialogue. So I can't really decipher how good of a performance he did and how good of a performance he didn't do. Now, the times that he had to show emotion, he did great. You know, Brad Pitt knows what he's doing. He's a vet at this. Whether he is saying the lines or visually showing the lines, he is a vet at this. And he probably was the only distinctive thing that was done well in this movie. But the fact that you chose to have a movie where very little dialogue, in my opinion, made this movie not as good as it could have been. I think this movie could have been great. As is, even though it was very, very slow on the second half of the movie. Like, I'm saying if you are remotely sleepy, you might want to take a caffeine pill, grab a coffee, a tea, or something, because you will fall asleep. I had to nudge Nikki Tay a few times to keep him up. I just woke up, and I still was getting a little bit of sleep in this movie. But the fact that you didn't have the dialogue that everybody wanted in this movie failed it. And when you think about movies like Gravity, right? Some people love that movie, some people hate it, which is fine, whatever. But the best thing about that movie was the dialogue, okay? It was the dialogue. The visuals in both movies were spectacular. The visuals in this movie was spectacular. Some of the best in this year, you know, hands down, right? But without the second part, the dialogue, this movie don't even compare to Gravity.
All right, y'all, I'm gonna keep this quick. Ad Astra is one of the most boring movies I've ever seen, easily. This film is carried by two things other than Brad Pitt, which he did a serviceable job: visuals and the score. The visuals are immaculate. The score is great. The score helps try to set up the emotion in this film that we're not getting because the dialogue is mainly muted in a lot of parts, again, to help set the scene. This movie reminds me a lot of 2001, A Space Odyssey, in which visuals take the forefront to the dialogue. But the difference with A Space Odyssey is that Stanley Kubrick, is building a world that is suspenseful, that you are interested in. Ad Astra doesn't do any of that. Ad Astra is literally glitz, glamour with nothing behind it. Nothing behind it. Because, I don't know, you know, I feel like in the moments where I should be getting dialogue, right? Like, say something, make me connect. It's like Charlie Brown's parents, like, for literally this whole movie. And it takes away from everything. It takes away from the visuals. It takes away from the score, because I'm never able to take myself out of, you know, myself and experience the movie. I'm just constantly reminded, like, what is this? Like, Like what are they saying? Huh? I can't hear it. Is the movie messed up? You know, do we got a bad copy? And then Brad Pitt starts talking, but he only says 3 words. So I was like, okay, the audio does work, and then it's back to muted. So I'm like, I don't. They got a bad copy. I don't know what is going on. But Ad Astra did not do it for me, and I'm so disappointed in this film. Easily, probably the most disappointed I've been all year.
With good conscience, I cannot rate this movie high. I can't, right? As much as I love Brad Pitt, this movie was a 6.2 for me. And the only reason why I'm even saying it's a 6.2 is because of the things that we talked about. The visuals are spectacular. Brad Pitt, to me, does a great job of trying to bring some sort of life to this very lifeless movie. And James Gray, you should be ashamed of yourself. I have to say, you should be ashamed of yourself because you could have had a hit with Brad Pitt, Tommy Lee Jones, and the visuals of this movie. This should be a 9. We should be leaving this movie saying this was a 9. Go out, go see it right now. Stop what you're doing. But no, instead we gotta say, don't go see this movie unless you just want to see a bad version of Space Odyssey, right? Or even, can I even say that? Maybe even not that. I don't know.
In the end, for me, the director clearly chose visual art versus substance. This movie was boring. It was doggone boring. I think this movie is the same for me if it was completely muted versus what I got in the theater. Which says a lot about the visuals. The visuals are good enough to make this movie watchable. But the dialogue doesn't give anything. The acting doesn't give anything. And so this movie falls flat on its face. For me, I'm giving it a 5.9. And that is only based on the visuals. Nothing else in this movie will get me to come back. The visuals won't get me to come back. I will never recommend this movie to anyone, even though I'm telling you it is worth seeing if you are a Brad Pitt fan and if you are absolutely in love with outer space. You mute the movie, put on headphones, listen to an album, and watch the film. You don't need to listen to anything that's going on because guess what? I couldn't follow the damn story. You probably won't either. You got to infer a lot. It's bad. You just guessing the whole time like, oh, he did this because of this. I don't want to be quizzing myself. I don't want to have to be guessing at the movie. Some things should just be staples. The end, yeah, maybe leave it open. But the whole movie, and then the science behind some things. He climbs in a rocket when it's like taking off. Right next to the fucking jet fuel. Excuse my language. It was terrible. That completes the review of Ad Astra. Total disappointment. Considering how high-powered this year has been, it won't ruin this year.
Really? This year been high-powered?
Yeah, we got Endgame, we got Lion King, we got Toy Story, we got Us. We got really good movies. Okay. Has the summer been mild? Yeah, the summer been mild. But the year overall, we got movies that I think people will watch probably for the rest of their lives. Is that fair to say?
A few of them, yes.
Okay. But Ad Astra won't be one of them. But if you happen to go see it, let us know. Tell us how you feel about it. Leave a comment. If you like this review, please hit subscribe. And if you really like us, hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with all of our reviewing content. As always, don't forget, you've seen it here. And you heard it here. You know, because we let the sound play. We don't just mute it every minute. You can hear us. You hear the actors you pay money for. Brad Pitt got paid to literally say nothing.